So how do you make money from filmmaking? That's a great question, and obviously there's plenty of answers out there for how to make money while you're making movies. But if you're like me and you only really like to work on movies that you feel kind of passionate about, then it's kind of difficult to make a full-time living, especially when you're first starting out. So I wanted to talk about what are some of the other things you can do that kind of relate to filmmaking that you can make money at. The first and kind of most obvious, I would think, thing is, but I see it not happening a lot. I see a lot of people that work on movies, and you might be one of these people, and that might be why you're watching this video. And I was that person too for a very long time, waiting tables, working in a retail store, which is fine, but you have a very specific skill set. You have a very specific set of skills. But you have a very specific skill set that people value. You're a content creator, so there's plenty of jobs in that field, but I get it if that's not what you want to do for a living because you feel kind of overwhelmed creating content all the time and getting paid for it and that becoming your job, and then you start to hate filmmaking, and I get it. I've definitely been there. But you think about all the other fringe things you've learned from filmmaking. If you are a producer or a director, you are a project manager. Project management is huge. You can take a big project and break it down into small, bite-sized pieces and then tackle each one of those pieces. That, in and of itself, is a super valuable skill in the corporate world, if that's something you're interested in getting into. If you're more of the technical side of things, there's tons and tons of work as an audiovisual technician. I used to work for a company called PSAV. They're global now, and they hire all over the place, and they pay pretty good. They pay $16 an hour, depends what your previous experience is. You can get as many hours as you want, or if you really don't want to work that many hours and you want it just to be a way to supplement your income, you can work way fewer hours. And you don't really even have a ton of experience in that realm if you're a relatively personable person and you have an interest in the technology. They'll hire people like that because they can train you on all the technology stuff. And also you can get kind of creative with what these side skills are. For me, for example, I started making websites for films, and I started marketing for films. I did websites, to be fair, for video game clans and stuff like that way back in the day, but really the thing that I cut my teeth on was making websites for films that I was working on or involved in somehow. I kind of became known as like the guy that would make the film website and also the social media guy, whatever. So there might be other skills like that you're not thinking of. Do you know how to create a Facebook page? There are businesses that will pay you just to create a Facebook page for them. $100, $200 is a totally reasonable price to make a banner for them. You know how to use Photoshop, you know how to use some kind of photo editor, even better. You can create a banner for them, create a nice little image, fill in all the information, get them up and running, add them as an admin, and boom, you've just made a couple $100. And you can do that so many times because there's so many businesses that still don't have Facebook pages, but they now get it. There's no longer having to convince people that Facebook is valuable or any other channel. Maybe they have a good Facebook page, but they don't have an Instagram. Well, you can be that person that goes in and sets that up for them. If you've ever done it for your movie, you have the experience more than that business does or more than the people that might hire you have. So think about that. Is there stuff that you've done related to filmmaking that now you could take and turn that into work? I would suggest doing it yourself. Don't necessarily try to go find a job doing it because that kind of limits your freedom to work on films, but you can do it freelance and do, as much as you need to in between films, and then try to actually raise money for your films so you can get paid to make them, or, invest in your films, or at least take deferred rates so that you can start to make income that way. Another way is if you're a writer, write some stuff that's not screenplays. Screenplays are difficult to get made. It's much easier, and I don't want to say it's easy, but if you have the script already written, you could pretty easily turn that into a novel. And it might not be the best novel, but it would be something. And a lot of times you can make a little bit of income on the side through Amazon self-publishing your books. And who knows, maybe you can even build up an audience that then is going to be interested in your movies. Another cool thing, I'm sure you've heard people talk about this before. I'm not convinced that it's super lucrative, and mostly that's just because I'm not really a cinematographer, so I haven't tried it very much, but I do know some people that do make some pretty good money from it, is stock footage. So if you are the type of person that's the technical side of things and you just really like to film things, then it's totally reasonable to sign up for something like Black Box. I'll link down in the description to what I'm talking about if you don't know. It's super cool. I remember back in the day trying to get onto our stock video sites, and you'd have to go to every single one and upload over and over and over again. Now, the cool thing is Blackbox allows you to upload it one time to Blackbox, and they send it out to all those things. They worry about collecting the royalties, and then they send you a pretty huge cut of that royalty. They take out almost nothing. And you can split it up between your collaborators automatically, so you don't have to keep track of, when I get this check, I need to send this person this, and this person this, and this person this, because I agreed that they could make money off of the stock footage that I took of them if they're the actor in it or whatever. So basically, that's a really good option if you have a really good eye for things. The cool thing that I also just recently discovered is inside of Blackbox, there is a section that shows you what the most popular tags are at the moment. So I plan on doing this summer, and this is something I'm just giving you this idea, you can go ahead and do it before me, is taking that list of places and shots and things that people are searching for, and there's other keyword research things that you can do. If you take that mindset and apply that to stock footage, so many people are out there just shooting whatever they think is cool and trying to make money off of it. If you just, take a little bit of strategy to it, you could make some good money doing that. And also, it's passive income. So you make it once, you make a ton of stuff all at once. That's what I'm planning to do this summer, is go all out for like 2 weeks on this, and then sit back and see how much money I can make over time. I will give you an update on this channel later this year whenever I do that, if you just want to wait and see if I fail miserably at it before you give it a try. So those are some of the ideas of ways that you could make money between films if you're a filmmaker. And obviously there's varying degrees of skill involved, and there's varying degrees of commitment that's involved. I understand that that's an important part of finding a job as a filmmaker, is that you have to be able to take off to work on stuff. So that's what a lot of people say, that's why they like their serving jobs, is because they can take off whenever they want to work on films. We all know that it doesn't work out that way, even though they tell you you can do that. What would work much better is if you did freelance and you could take off whenever you want, because you are your own boss, especially if you do stuff that is project oriented. Instead of doing, I will manage your Facebook page and post every single day of the month and call you and ask you, or come to your place and get photos, whatever, that's going to take a lot of work on your part to upkeep. And yeah, you could make a lot of money doing that, but if you were trying to stay flexible, that's not the way you want to go about it. You want to go about it on a project basis. So I will build this one website for you. I will set up your Facebook page this one time and just do that over and over and over and over again. And that becomes a really sustaining job and also flexible. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other ideas for filmmakers to make money with their skill sets between films, instead of having to wait tables, instead of having to work at the Old Navy or whatever. Let me know down in the comments below, and you can check out some more videos right now up on the screen here. I might have to flip my screen around so that it's here. There's a playlist of videos specifically geared towards filmmakers, so those might be of interest to you. I try to take a perspective on things that I'm not seeing other people cover. Mostly, for my case, it's the producing side of things. So if you're interested in that at all, check out this playlist. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.